It was super awesome to meet you this morning. I hope you've all had a chance to share the classroom tour video with your child. We would just like to take a few minutes of your time to go over some important parent information to share with you. And please feel free if you have any questions after you've watched this video and then you read through the things that I'm going to send as a follow-up to this video. If you have any questions, please reach out to us and ask. First of all, communication is super important to us. It's the key to us having a successful year, especially this year when you're not going to be coming in the building. So we'll be using email, but most of our communication this year, we're going to try to use Seesaw 4. So be checking that for updates and messages and a way to communicate back and forth. We also want to use that to be able to take a lot of pictures and videos to send out to you so that you can see what's going on in the classroom, since you're not going to have the opportunity to be in the hallways and check out the artwork and the fun things that are going on in the classroom. So make sure that you're checking that as well. As far as absence and late arrivals or a change in pickup, if you have any of those changes, there's a phone number that's going to be on the information that I'm going to send for you to call and leave a message about any of those important changes as they happen. You will receive a monthly calendar that I'll post on Seesaw as well as, and then a weekly communication that will happen at the end of each week.
And we also have a Facebook page, so if you're on Facebook, look up our preschool. The different classrooms post stuff weekly, kind of fun stuff to look at. Today, when you met with us, you got the blue take-home folder. That'll be our communication from home and school back and forth. Each week, we'll send home things that your kids have worked on, projects, practice writing, anything like that. So it's important you take it out and look through it with your child and show them how exciting it is and how excited you are seeing all their stuff. Anything that is being sent back to school using the folder, we'll have you paper clip it to the front of the folder, and I forgot to put the paper clips on your folder, so we'll add those next week. But that's key for sending stuff back and forth. So just make sure you return it to school on Tuesday morning with your child. Before leaving for school in the morning, make sure you take your child to the bathroom right before you're walking out the door. It just kind of helps speed up the process of checking them in the morning. Also, before you leave the house, in your folder, you got a yellow card that talks all about COVID and the symptoms. So please make sure your child doesn't have any of the symptoms on that card. Otherwise, they won't be allowed to come to school. Also, when you're leaving the house, make sure they have their backpack, their appropriate clothes that they need for outdoor play, especially with the weather changing temperatures throughout the day. And if they're staying in for Explore in the afternoon, make sure they have their lunch packed.
Arrival. So arrival is a little bit different than it has been in previous if you are a former GDK family. So I kind of showed everyone today that there's going to be blue flags or orange cones marking social distancing for your arrival. So there'll be 5 spots available. So when you come in the morning, our drop-off time is 9:25. We will probably be at the doors at 9:20 just to kind of move that process along a little quicker. So you and your child can line up at a cone or a flag that's available. And then if all 5 of them are being used, we just ask that you wait in your car until one is available. And then as soon as someone is done, you can go ahead and join the line and make sure that we're practicing that social distancing. And then we are asking adults to wear masks during that time, but masks for kids are optional. So your child does not need a mask. We will have one. We will do a quick temperature check at the door, and then that's your chance to give your child a hug goodbye and wish them a great day. And then off you go, and then they will come in to the building. And then the first thing we will be doing after everyone arrives is washing their hands before we go into the classroom. But it would be great if you could make sure they use the bathroom before you come so that we don't have to add that to our morning process as well. We will take a bathroom break at a later point in the morning. We would prefer not to have to do one first thing as we enter the building.
Please make sure your child has a full-size backpack. large enough to hold a full-size folder, and their lunchbox if they're staying for lunch for extended day. Make sure that their backpacks come every day to school with them, and we will be sending those blue folders on Thursdays home with your child to be returned on Tuesdays. Also, it's a time of year for your kids to explore, have fun, be messy. So make sure you dress your child in play clothes that they can get messy in, and closed-toe athletic shoes. While sandals and stuff are cute, it's not practical for the playground for climbing, jumping, sliding, and running. So that's special, or that's important, sorry. Also, make sure they have appropriate clothing for outside play. So it might be chilly, make sure they have a jacket, hat, mittens as the weather gets cooler. Also, let's see, make sure everything's labeled. Hats, mittens, scarves, especially as we move into winter. There's a lot of pieces that it takes to get ready to go outside. So if everything's labeled, it's nice to keep track of who's losing a mitten, etc. So that's very important to make sure everything is labeled.
Yes. Attached when I send out this information at the end of this on the last page is going to be a sample schedule of our day so that you can have a little sneak peek of what our day looks like. And then it also is kind of a tool that you can use to ask your child about certain parts of the day. So you will have that with you. Snack this year is provided by GDK. You provided a fee to pay for that. So the snack will be provided by the school just to avoid things coming in and out of people's homes to school. Just one more thing that we can do to help keep everyone healthy at school. We will be doing sharing this year. It will look different than it has looked in the past. We usually had send home a bag and then you would send something that your child picked out back in. This year our sharing, because we feel it's kind of an important part to getting up and talking in front of people and just building that confidence and that relationship with the other students in the room. So we will still be doing it. But oftentimes it's going to be something like they're going to be sharing a piece of artwork that they created or a journal entry that they did or a drawing that they made. Every once in a while, we are going to do something from home, but I will give you plenty of advance warning if I'm asking you for something from home. And the way we will do it is I will ask you to take a picture of what your child wants to share and then send it on Seesaw, and then your child, we will share the picture during class time, and then they can talk about the sharing item, because it's more fun for them to be able to bring something from home. So instead of bringing it, we'll just have you take a picture of it and do sharing that way. But I'll give you advance notice if it's your child's turn for that. Lunch, if your child stays for extended day, everybody in our room is staying at least one day. Some are staying 2, some are staying 3. So you will provide a lunch on that day. The lunch will be stored in a refrigerator, so you don't need to worry about having an ice pack or anything in that. Miss Lisa had sent information about the guidelines that are included that need to be in part of your lunch, and it's a licensing thing. So your child does need to have white milk in their lunch. If your child's not going to drink it, it's fine. It's just something that you have to have in there. So they actually sell these little cartons like juice boxes that don't have to be refrigerated. You could just put one in your child's lunchbox. They would never open it, but it would always be there. It's just something that we have to have. You also need to have a whole grain as well, and then 2 vegetables or a fruit and a vegetable. They're looking for the lunches to be well balanced that you're sending each and every day.
Birthdays. Everybody has one. We'll find a special day to celebrate all the children's birthdays. If their birthday doesn't happen to fall on a day that they're in school, we will find a day that's close by and celebrate them. We will be sending home a special poster for them to color and fill out and bring back to school on the day that we will be celebrating their birthday. So they kind of get to be like the star of the day. So that's kind of fun for them.
Now we're to the end of our day for dismissal. So for dismissal, you pick up at the same door that we used for drop off. It's the door by the park. You will have to park your car, get out of the car, come and stand next to the flags and cones, just like you did at arrival with your pink ticket that you got in your blue folder. So make sure you have that when you come to line up. And then we will just send them out one at a time to you as you get to the front of the line for dismissal. If there happens to be any change in who's picking up that day, you would need to call the preschool line and give that information for a change. If it's a change that you know is going to happen like days ahead of time, you can send me an email that way, and then I can keep track of that change. But if it's something that happens last minute, make sure that you're calling the main preschool line to make us aware of that change. If for some reason someone who is not on your emergency form is picking up for dismissal, make sure that they have a driver's license and you've communicated that with us so that we can check their ID just to make sure to keep everything safe. And I think, and then we just ask that you use extra caution when you're driving through the neighborhood, driving slowly, and then in the parking lot that you're holding onto your child's hand when you're walking them back to the car as well. We hope we can have a wonderful year this year and work closely together. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions or concerns that you have.
Looking forward to the school year. See you soon.